The Rio Velodrome caught fire. Again, if you saw the headlines about smoke billowing over the Olympic Park, you probably thought, here we go, another Olympic ghost town falling apart. That's usually the narrative we get with these massive projects. They get built for billions, the circus leaves town, and the buildings just rot away until nature or a stray spark takes them back. But if we actually look at what happened Wednesday morning in Rio, the story isn't really about a tragic fire. It's actually kind of a plot twist on the whole abandoned Olympic venue trope. Around 4 a.m., a fire started on the roof. It took 80 firefighters and 20 trucks to get it under control. That sounds like a lot of drama, but the building itself is mostly fine. The damage was basically limited to the fabric roof. Think of it like a giant, expensive outdoor tent getting a singed top. The interior, the cycling track, and the Olympic Museum tucked inside were totally untouched. The most obvious take here is that this is a disaster for Rio's legacy. People love to point at Rio 2016 as the prime example of Olympic waste. But I'm going to flip that. The fact that 80 firefighters rushed to save this specific building at 4 in the morning tells you everything you need to know. This venue is actually loved. In a world where most Olympic stadiums become literal parking lots or overgrown jungles, the Rio Velodrome is low-key a success story. It's the home base for Brazil's national cycling and weightlifting teams. It's not a ruin, it's an office. They were literally protecting the Olympic torch and medals inside, because that history still means something to the people living there. Now, let's get into the weird behind-the-scenes part. This is the second time this has happened. Back in 2017, the roof caught fire because of sky lanterns, those little paper hot air balloons people launch at parties. It's such a specific local problem. You spend millions on high-tech architecture, and it gets defeated by a party decoration. It's a reminder that these monuments are actually just part of a living, breathing city where people set off lanterns and live their lives. The investigation is still figuring out if it was another lantern or something else this time, but the mayor is already talking about cleaning it up and getting back to work. There's something strangely human about that. Usually when we talk about the Olympics, it's all about global impact and multi-billion-dollar budgets. But this news feels more like a neighbor telling you their shed caught fire. It's grounded. It's low stakes in the sense that no one was hurt and the mission continues. We're so used to disaster porn when it comes to old Olympic sites that we forget these places are actually workplaces for athletes to try and make it to the next games. So influencing the Rio is a wreck narrative is important here. Yes, the roof is flammable. Yes, that's a design flaw they probably should have fixed after the first time. But the venue is alive. So, next time you see a photo of smoke over an old Olympic park, don't just assume it's the end of the world. Sometimes it's just a really expensive building having a bad day, with a community that actually cares enough to show up and put the fire out. The museum is safe, the track is fine, and the athletes will be back to work once the smell of smoke clears out. That's the real legacy.